Welcome to Coffee with Clover. Thanks for joining us today. My first guest is the first legally blind teacher to graduate in Ontario. Please help me welcome the founder of Connect for Life, Melanie Tadeo. Melanie, welcome to the show.
Thank you so much for having me.
It's great to have you one more time.
Thanks.
So you're the founder of Connect for Life, and you're now helping people in your situation to accomplish what they need to achieve in life.
Right.
How did Connect for Life come about?
So after I acquired my disability later in life, I realized that I wanted to be independent and I still wanted to go on with my life. But there wasn't a lot of programs that promoted independence. Had to learn to do things for yourself, again, life skills, that sort of thing. So I developed Connect for Life because I saw there was a need. And we teach life skills. And then later on, we added a broadcast training program, an accessible voice in broadcasting, where we teach individuals with various disabilities about radio broadcasting.
Is it an actual, and it's an institution where students come in on a weekly, daily basis?
Well, when we run the program, it's a 6-month course, and they come 5 days a week for half a day, whether it's morning or afternoon course, depending on the cycle. And they get hands-on training in class, as well as partnered with some supporters from CBC and AMI, which are radio stations in the broadcasting sector, that come in and help teach different elements of the course. And then they work on their portfolio and their own podcast.
So you're now 5 years in.
Yes.
How has it been?
Amazing. It's so rewarding to watch these young people, and I say young people, the 20 and up usually, that come in full of ambition, not sure about what they're going to do, but creating masterpieces when they're done. It's just great to see the growth.
So attached to Voices for Ability, you also have a radio station
Yeah.
which exposes them to media and communication.
Yeah, so our online radio station is Voices for Ability Radio, and it is the first 24/7 internet radio station for, about, and by people with disabilities. And it's all run by individuals with disabilities, and most of them are graduates from our broadcast training program, which is fantastic. So it's a platform for them to have a voice, to share their talents, and really showcase their abilities.
So for others to clue in on to what's happening online, what do they?
They go to our website, v4aradio.com, and they can just listen live. It's a combination of talk radio and music, but really, truly, what's sort of great is there's a program for everybody.
Is it new shows every week, every day?
Usually it's bi-weekly the new shows come on, but there's a schedule and people can tune in. And they're in the process of getting podcasts added so that people can listen after the fact.
And just to digress a little, before Voices for Ability of anything of this nature started, you were okay,
Yeah.
but then disability struck, and then you have to change your path.
Exactly. So at the age of 21, I suffered a massive stroke that left me completely blind and I'm completely paralyzed on the left side and legally blind. And my dream had been to be a teacher all my life, but I was studying visual art, and that's the big pun, because now I can't see. What am I going to do? So I had to really decide. But what I realized is anything's possible when you have strength and courage, and you just fight for what you want.
Was it a challenge while you
Oh.
were studying at all?
Most definitely. It was all new, having to learn to use audiobooks instead of actual textbooks, not being able to take notes in class and being able to decipher what you write. And then, of course, just being able to learn to advocate for yourself and what you need.
Having gone through adjusting to audiobooks, as you've said, how do you find students adapting to that new way of learning?
Well, it's interesting because all of my students have various disabilities, so I have to accommodate the lesson plan to suit their abilities and their strengths. So if I have somebody who's visually impaired like myself, or somebody in a wheelchair that only has use of one hand, whatever the case may be, we just accommodate the curriculum to make sure that it's accessible for them, whether it's the equipment they use, extra time, that sort of thing. And that's the one thing about Connect for Life is we personalize our training to make sure that we set our students up for success.
And so far, there is no other institution that caters for students with disabilities.
Well, there's a lot of different organizations that do, and schools do accept individuals with
But
disabilities.
yours is unique.
It is because
Right.
it's a 5-to-1 ratio, it's hands-on, and we accommodate as needed. So it takes a little bit more time, but it also just really understands the individual's needs.
How many people are now attending?
It varies from class to class. We won't take more than 5-to-1 ratio. So if we have a morning and afternoon class, it would be 10. We have life skills students, which is separate, and that's another 10 to 15. It's a small class, but It's more personalized that way.
How are they progressing, the students?
Oh, the life skills students are great. They come in with a plan, what they want. We set something that's achievable, and then we work to strive those goals. So again, some of them are getting employed, others are just learning to cook for themselves, using the computer, their phone, whatever it is that they come to us for. But really a big piece of what we do is advocacy, helping them advocate for themselves and have a voice effectively.
Okay, that's wonderful. It's time to take a break. When we come back, Melody will tell all about her new book. Welcome back. So Melody, after being a teacher, being founder of Connect for Life, you're now a new author.
I am.
Tell me about your new book.
Well, it's interesting. 20 years ago, I was told I should write a book about my experiences, and I thought, sure, but never did anything with it. But then my husband told me at the beginning of this year that I needed to write a book to help inspire others. And I really said to him, who would want to read about my story? And he said, are you serious? So I contacted a publisher and talked to her about it. I said, I don't want it just to be about me. I want it to be something that's going to help people, to help inspire them, give them something to take away. So I created my book, My Unforeseen Journey, Losing Sight, Gaining Vision, and it's being released on December 6th of this year. And what's really great about it is a really unique structure. Each chapter has a different word as the title, something like dreams, expectations, beliefs, etc. And then the first part of each chapter is my story through that word, and the second part is a takeaway for the reader, including some advice and techniques that I learned along the way to help overcome unforeseen change, because everybody encounters unforeseen change in their life, whether it's a death in the family, a breakup of a relationship, or a loss of a job. It doesn't have to be visionless like it was for me, but we all face change, and we're all resilient, and we can overcome anything.
Were you already taking notes to write a book as you go along, or you just started?
I just started. Started in April, and it finished in August.
So by memory, everything just flowed?
Yeah.
Wow.
Because it's just, I had story to tell. I guess my husband was right.
Yeah. So your husband pushes you.
Yeah, he encourages me, definitely.
So being a role model for even the students that you have, now you have a book to tell of your life journey.
Right.
And how are others receiving? Well, the launch is coming up.
It's coming up, so
and the word is getting out.
It is.
How are people embracing?
Oh, they're so excited about the launch. They're excited about this opportunity because, of course, we're in print version, an ebook version, and of course, I have to have an audiobook version because how could I not?
Yeah.
And they're really excited to learn about my experiences, but also help them adjust to their own situations. And they're just happy for me. It's been a journey, it's been an adventure, as I call it, and it's been so rewarding and exciting.
Definitely. What are some of the highlights that you put in that will really help someone in your situation?
Journaling, definitely journaling. I can't give away all the secrets, nobody will buy the book.
Yeah.
But I find putting your thoughts on paper helps you cope with a lot more.
And as you go through life, whatever happened, whether it be dramatic or not, make a note.
Yes, because it's also good to reflect on how far you've come in life.
Now that you've done the book, how does it make you feel?
I'm proud.
Wow.
I'm really proud. It's funny because I don't usually do much for myself, but I felt this process was as much for myself as it was to help others, because I dealt with a lot of things that probably hadn't dealt over the last 24 years just by writing it, so it was very cathartic.
So do you find, as you go along, do you think there's another book in the near future, or have you said it all? I know we do not want to give away everything, but...
And that's it. I don't know. I think for now this is probably it, but you never know what the future holds. That's true.
You're gaining vision, and you're doing new things, and you're a role model in the community.
Thanks.
It's okay. I hope you can actually have your book being in the library, being in other institutions also.
I hope so.
Right.
That'll be a definitely discussion for the new year.
Okay. You also have a highlight coming up at the book launch.
Oh yes, so at our book launch, we're trying to make it really represent my life. So before the stroke, I was studying visual art. My passion for art has always been there. So we're having it at the Art Gallery of Mississauga, and I wanted to have an art piece. So we're having an interactive, collaborative art piece where everybody will be able to come and participate with it, so they'll have a keepsake from the book launch.
Whose idea was that?
Mine.
Oh, well, that's a wonderful idea. So
you.
everyone that's coming into the book launch will have the chance of painting in a little part of that
That's
art.
right. And we've partnered with an amazing art studio in Mississauga, and they're going to have the artists sketch it out so that we all know what we're doing and be there to help monitor, because I know a lot of people are afraid, I'm not a painter, but I think it's going to just be most
You should have brought it here. We could have started sketching in
secret.
It's top secret. So it's going to be a surprise for the guests.
That's right,
Well,
yes.
as soon as the show airs.
That's okay. They know what they're coming to, but they
So-
don't know the images.
Yeah. What do you expect for that evening?
A great opportunity for people to network, to get together, to celebrate, to come learn about the book, hear from our publisher, hear from myself, and from Gabby Mamone, who's written the foreword of my book, and just to have a chance to win some great draw prizes and enjoy some amazing food.
Any special announcement there, or life just goes on?
Life just goes on.
Life just goes on. Okay. And that's it with Melanie. Her book launch is coming up soon. And where can they go online to find you again?
So it's melanietadio.ca, or my handles on social media are Gaining Vision.
Gaining Vision. Don't go away. We have more coming up. Welcome back. Modern technology has changed the way we live, and the new technology has been creeping up on us. Please help me welcome my next guest, a 20-year web developer, Kevin Canadu.
So it's actually Kevin Ucana, but that's okay.
Kevin Ucana.
My last name is very hard to pronounce.
Okay.
But the whole thing about today's conversation is actually talking about the 5G
That's 5G.
spectrum. Yeah.
Where is it?
So 5G spectrum right now is actually being used in most airports. Even in England right now, they're actually using 5G technology in some parts of the U.S.
One of the fear, why people are talking so much about, is that it's coming and it's faster. How much faster? We have 4G, and we have 3G before. So how is 5G different?
So 5G is pretty fast. I mean, when you're surfing the internet, your data is much more quicker to see the content. I mean, right now we're on LTE, and LTE it's to 5G. 5G is a step up from LTE. So I guess you'll be spending more or less time on your cellular devices. 5G is like the way of the future, but there's also some concerns.
So why is it taking so slowly to get here?
So the reason why 5G has been delayed a lot of times, there is health considerations and concerns. The other thing too is that the American government is a little bit behind on the technology, where a company in China, Huawei, has had 5G already for many years and being tested. But then it turns into a political battle if we let China control the spectrum bandwidth in North America. Then it turns into a political game.
Health-wise, you say, how is it affecting us health-wise? So that's scary to hear.
Well, the thing is, health-wise, I mean, when 3G came out, nobody talked about health, and when 4G came out, nobody talked about health, and then the LTE. The problem is that yes, we are spending more time on our devices, and yes, we're glued to the phones. The health concerns is that 5G is a new spectrum, and I think that there isn't a significant enough data as to what health concerns. I mean, there's things on the internet that I've seen where people say, oh, it causes depression, causes anxiety, but what about the person's lifestyle? Do they drink? Do they eat improperly? So this could all contribute to the whole depression and anxiety issue with the 5G and the cell phone.
What about even the very microwave that most homes do have, and we have to use that?
Well, that's another consideration. Microwaves. I mean, microwaves. People want everything instantaneously. But actually using a microwave is very, very health determinant. It's so bad for you. When you put your food in a nuclear reactor, your food is pretty much all dead. You're eating filler food just to satisfy your hunger cravings.
But then you mentioned that 5G is faster, and 4G, when we had 3G, 4G came and we were faster. So.
Yeah, so when we had the 3G, nobody complained. When the 4G came out, nobody complained. Now 5G, because everybody's aware about social media and people read one article and this article turns another article. But the really question you have to ask yourself, is this all fake information?
Is it? What do you
Well, I know there's a conspiracy behind it. Like, I mean, was this information all, you know, created by some kind of like government body to create a reality distortion field for the public, and totally like, the Chinese and American relations? We don't know, right?
Why do we need to have it faster though? Because they keep making, okay, now that 5G is in, don't you think 6G is coming?
Well, I think 6G is probably in the works.
Yeah.
I don't think it's fully in, but I mean, everything people want things bigger, better, faster. I mean, look at the TVs. A couple of years ago, we were at 1080p.
Yeah.
Now we're at 4K. Next thing you know, we're at 6K.
Humongous.
So it's consumerism. People want to have options. People want to have different things. I think that Canada and our cell phones we're way behind. Like, I mean, look at Apple. Apple released their iPhone Pro phone, and it's still 4G. It doesn't even have any 5G support.
But then you look at it as a money-making thing, even though it probably is making life more efficient, but money is in it.
Yeah, 100%. It's a money maker thing. I mean, if you could get your information faster and quicker and more efficient, why not have the latest and greatest? You know, I mean, people like. If you're walking around in your pocket today with a cell phone from the 80s, people look at you like you're a weirdo.
Definitely.
Right?
And it's slow too, right?
And it's slow, right?
Yeah.
I mean, or let's reverse the thing. Let's go back to the days when there's no cell phones. People used to go to the payphone and pick up the phone.
Or you wait until you get to your destination.
Exactly.
You make a call.
Yeah.
Now you flip your phone and you make a call anywhere you are.
Yeah.
How dangerous is it though, just to have your phone here for half an hour to an hour?
Well, I think it's very, very bad to have your phone glued onto close to your brain for quite some time, because that's very, very not very healthy. But then again, people are wearing Bluetooth earbuds. I mean, Bluetooth is very bad for you, right? I mean, people now they have noise cancellation Bluetooth devices. So you're gonna wear a Bluetooth. And Bluetooth is actually a big health concern. I think that we should go back to using wired headphones, because there's no health risk for that.
Mm-hmm, mm-hmm. So with Bluetooth and so those are not healthy.
No, the Bluetooth
at all.
Yeah, not healthy at all.
So society knows that. Why do they still have it in circulation?
So why do they have Bluetooth in circulation? I mean, it's a solution that we have for today. I mean, who knows what we'll have the technology for tomorrow? Maybe something else will come in that will replace Bluetooth. I mean, I think that eventually, with all augmented reality, people will be able to wear glasses and take a phone call right from glasses.
Definitely.
And Google was working on that, way back when, but it was a failed project, probably too ahead of its time.
It's all about speed. How much faster can we go?
Well, that's the thing. How much faster we could go? We're already working too much as it is. I mean, like when you have a job and you say, oh, your boss says, oh, I just sent you that email like 10 seconds ago. You should have it by now.
Didn't receive it yet.
Didn't receive it yet.
So it does help in some way, but I think we're going too fast. We're going to be on our tippy toes if we don't slow down.
Yeah.
And thanks for watching. That's it for today's show. Thank you, Kevin, for sharing with us. 5G is coming. Embrace it, because 6G probably will be next. That's it for Coffee with Clover. See you again next time.